Okay everybody, so I'm doing a quick tutorial on the A1 Combo series, which comes with the AMS, and so I've got everything laid out. I'm not going to do an unboxing. Y'all seen the thousands of videos out there on showing how the Bambu A1 Lab Combo stuff, all that stuff is unboxed. We don't need an unboxing. So realistically, out of all the stuff that you need here, you won't be needing this and this. This is if you don't have the combo, the AMS, but we do have it, so this is not needed. You don't need to mount that. You will need this. This is a free spool of white filament. I'm not even going to comment on that. You have the your plate. It comes with a textured PEI plate. It has this little box that has all these tools in it, a bunch of screws in it. Realistically, we only need these set of screws to put everything together and get it operational. That's the base housing and the AMS stand. So this stand right here has 4 screws. It comes with 5, always an extra. And then also for the base housing that you're going to mount together, you're going to actually mount these 2 items together. And when you do that, I believe there's 10 screws you have to use. It comes with 11, so it has an extra one. I always say that, all the extra stuff that you have at the end, just put it in a box, because you never know if you're ever going to need spare parts or something. At least you have it. It always comes with like a little free gift. This one here is a wireless mouse component kit, so you can actually print this, and then with the clicky buttons and all that, and then of course you have all the parts that come with it inside this box. I've never used any of them. I've got all kinds of different things. I've got the mouse, I've got like an LED lamp, and a couple other things that it comes with. So I've never used it. Maybe one day I'll just, when I start selling some of the stuff that I'm going to be producing, maybe I'll just start randomly dropping that in people's orders or something like that. Or maybe I'll have a free giveaway when I hit so many views. I'll just randomly select somebody that commented on the video and send them this for free. So we'll see. Anyway, so we're gonna go. So realistically, there's only 2 tools you're gonna need. This comes in here. I'm just showing you this right here. It comes in this little box that has all the tools and the stuff to grease, the ups and downs, the rivets and all that stuff. So really you only need a pair of scissors and this tool right here. You don't need anything else. So everybody has their process on way to do it. First thing I like to do is I just like to go ahead and cut all the ties. We'll just toss this here in the corner. I can get that later. So you can remove all this. I mean, everybody's got their process. Just as long as you remove these, it's not going to make a difference when you do it. And then what order or pattern makes no difference whatsoever. You just want to get rid of all the ties on all this stuff. So some of the things that I'm going to address in regards to what's different on this video versus the other videos that are already out there on the web. So there are some changes when it comes to the packaging. In older videos, you'll see that this has like a plastic filament that's on top of this that you have to peel off. It no longer gets shipped with that. So all you have to do is just unpack the plate, and then this thing is magnetic, and then it just pulls it right to it. Boom, done. So one of the major things that isn't shown in other videos, which I can show you now, is right here you have these bolts, these items here that are bolted to the frame here, and it prevents the head from moving up and down. That's not on the previous videos that I've seen before. So you have to remove these 2 bolts here, and then you just take these things and just pull them off, and then this will be able to go up and down, and you'll be able to actually then run the calibration test, and everything will work fine. So again, it's real easy to put this thing together. It does have a lot of screws and stuff, but I got 3 of these now. I put already 2 of them together. There are instruction manuals which comes with it, and like I said, I'm doing a video right now for you so that you don't have to actually look at the instructions. So what you have to do is pay attention. So what you're gonna do is, you've got right here where these red things are, the red markers, there's 4 screws that you have to remove. So let's go ahead and remove those screws now. And you got the long piece and then you got a shorter piece. These things are kind of tight, so you're probably better off using the shorter end first to loosen it. I kind of think like they put like this little plastic glue or something to kind of hold it in place, which it is what it is. But yeah, so you got to remove these 4 screws. So let's go ahead and remove those 4 screws real quick, and it goes really fast. I think yesterday, the first time I put the video together, or the printer together, it definitely took a little bit while. I also myself watched a previous video on somebody else, and I noticed there was a lot of differences in versus the old videos versus this one. So now, once you've done that, you can see that the bed now moves. So now what you want to do is you want to remove this cover. There's a cover right here. So you just remove that, take this out of the way, boom. Now, there's 10 screws. There's 8, I believe, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then there's 2 more screws right here. They've got it marked with these little yellow rings, so it makes it really easy. So then you just take your screws out. Again, like I said, you only need these 2 packages. They're already labeled. It says for the base housing, which is what this is. So, and you know, I could just probably edit the video and cut out a lot of stuff to make it quicker, but this is gonna go pretty fast. So you just grab all your screws and you just drop the screws up in there. Just that easy. I do have one of those little small pin screwdrivers, however I didn't get it out. So yep, we just go ahead, put them right up in there. And let's see, I think we got everything. Yep. And one right here. Done. All right, so now I just usually I'll start with this one here. Just my recommendation is when you go to tighten it down, you should, okay, so that was a stupid mistake on my part. I was wondering why nothing's grabbing. Okay, so your next step, my mistake, a little bit out of sequence, but not a big deal. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have to turn this at a 45-degree angle, and you just drop it down. Move this out of the way. And done. So now, you just slide this baby on back, and now as you can see, wait, the wrong size. So again, let's try this again. So we got the screws in here. And you start, I would recommend you start from one side and then just work your way down through putting it together. So again, I guess this is a video that shows you how to put it together and how not to make the stupid mistake of forgetting to put these 2 pieces together. But yeah, the screws are mounting these 2 major pieces together. And then I just go from one side to the other. Just makes it a lot easier. But yeah, this is gonna be hopefully I could probably edit some stuff out of this if I wanted to. I'm just gonna drop the video one up there. The key things is, that's not on the videos. Like I said, these brackets right here, they're not on any of the people's videos. So of course, when I went to run the calibration test, I was wondering why it's not moving. I'm like, okay, what's going on? You know, I'm checking and I'm checking. You know, I hit the calibration, it says, you know, it didn't work. But it does give you an error. It says the Z-axis. And so then I went ahead and looked at what the Z-axis was, which was the up and down. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw these brackets on it. I was like, well, that wasn't on the video. And so once I identified that, took the screws out, or the brackets off, and then the calibration went through, no problem at all. Hold on. Let's get these other screws on down in here. But yeah, this calibration worked well. I have now 4 printers. I got 3 of these little guys, and then I've got an X1. So I started off with the X1, and it's a great printer when it works. I had a few issues with my X1. I ended up having to return both the printer and the AMS. And of course I got a new one, and now that one's got issues, but that's for another video. I could, if anybody wants to know what the issue is and how I was able to resolve it, if I was able to resolve it, then so. There we go. There we go. Pull that baby on back, and then we got the last 2 screws. And like I said, you have 1 extra screw, and you can just, like I said, my recommendation is keep all the spare parts. You never know, you might need it. A screw might come loose. I mean, I don't see how it would, but yeah, it's always good to keep all the spare parts. So just in case if you do need something, if you lose a screw, or you're taking it apart and you misplace something, then at least you've got a backup. Because on some of these things here, if you don't, you're just not going to be able to. Okay, so once that's bolted back down, you need to put the plate back on it. So this has got to snap into this part here. So what you got to do is you slide it back underneath it, and then with your hand, kind of guide it on up so it can snap back in place. Hold on. And when it's a solid flush, you know it's in, and then you can just snap it back on down. Well, that's it. Assembly probably is done. So next step is we want to connect the cable, which is here. And for that, you want to lay it down. So what I'm going to do is, I'm hoping you guys can still see the video, but you lay it down like that, and you're able to then go ahead and put it forward. So I can actually see what I'm doing. I'm just going to put it on here. I would not recommend you guys do that, but you have this one cable here, which is taped to it. So you just got to remove this tape here so you can get that one cable out. This cable is going to go up here to the yellow, which has got the yellow tag on it. And then you got to screw that. You also got to screw in once you've got this in place. So you can put the first cable here, which is to the left. It's the yellow one that goes right up in there. And then you got a USB-C, which needs to plug into it. So you just need to make sure you push it on in. There we go, and now it's snapped on in. You go ahead and connect this one in right there, the green one, and then this one's the yellow. And what I like to do is put the cable in first, snaps it in, not a problem at all. Make sure you get the cable so you don't snap or pinch the cable. Then you close that up in there, and then you push the cable back on down in there. So, of course, trying to get the cables to stay in this little groove can be a pain, but guess what? You got this tape that came with it, and you just go ahead and tape that over it, and voila, and that's it. And then you take this one screw, and make sure that this doesn't move. Okay, done. All right, so that's it. Now we're going to take these brackets off. We don't need the brackets on anymore. Yeah, it goes pretty fast. We're going to see how these printers turn out. For the cost, it's the same size as the X1, it just doesn't have the housing. So I really don't know. I've only printed on the X1. It does keep the heat in there, so it's going to be interesting to see how well these do actually print without the housing versus the other. But you know, I was able basically to get 3 of these for the one price of an X1. So if you're starting off and you're trying to start a 3D printer business, which is exactly what I'm trying to do, of course, if I can print 3 times the volume versus just the one, it makes a huge difference. So the next thing you want to do is you want to put this AMS together. So when you try and put it together, it's only going to go on one way. The screws, as long as the holes line up, that's perfect. You know it's on properly. If the holes don't line up and it doesn't sit on it properly, then you just got to flip it around and snap it up in there. That's all you got to do. So then you pull out the other bag. Remember, I said you only need 2 bags. And you take out these screws right here. And we just go ahead and put this baby together. So I live in Alabama, and Alabama has a high rate of humidity. So because the humidity is pretty high here in Alabama, you gotta watch out about the filament so it doesn't take in too much moisture. And so the way you do that is I found a print that you can actually print these like AMS cartridges things where you can house the filament, and it then reduces the moisture, which definitely makes a huge, it will make a difference, because if your filament's is soaking up too much liquid, you can have problems with your prints. And you know, filaments cost money, and if you print something and you print it 3 times because the first 2 times keeps messing up for whatever reason because the filament's all messed up, then you know that's wasted money. And of course, you don't want to waste money, so you want to make sure that you get the best that you can out of each of your print jobs that you're doing. So they recommend, and that's it. So this baby's already put together. So they do recommend that you put your AMS on this side, right here where also the cables is and everything. So your cable here on the back, you're just going to plug that in. On the back here, I'll hold this up. There's 2 ports, 1 and 2, and you can plug it into either one of them. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna just plug it into I would plug it into the one on the left because that's the closest one to it. It just makes sense. Again, you don't need this, you don't need that. This is for if you have just one filament, you don't have the combo, the AMS adapter, which we do have. You just put that baby right up on here, and then you just have that one line of filament that goes through there. So these things are color coded. As you can see on the bottom, you've got orange and green, and so they correspond. And you just gotta turn it till it snaps on. Again, orange and green, and that's it, done. So this is pretty much done. You've got this here. You go ahead and put this here. This is what you do. You just here, a piece just slides on it. It's really easy. You just find a little groove here. Oh. And that's it. Done. So With the tubing, I will connect the tubing to the AMS, but I have to move this into the printer room, so that's why I'm not going to actually then connect it to here yet. But you get one extra tube that comes with it, and you get this thing, the little fancy thing here that, you know, separates the tubes, keeps them nice and I guess aligned. So you got the short tubing and the two long ones. So the short ones goes to 1 and 2, and then the long ones will go to 3 and 4. So these are the two short ones. So we'll just go ahead and put these on here, just like this. All you gotta do is just push it down on in, and it pulls itself, snaps itself in place, and you're done. And then the two long ones, respectively, go to then 3 and 4, of course, because they're a little bit further away. And then 1 and 2 go on this side, and 3 and 4, they're not really numbered. So you just got to make sure you look and see which one is your 1 and 2, and your 3 and 4, and you just stick it right up in there, and you're done. Again, you remove these off. That's very important because the printer will not work until you take them off. And as you can see now, it goes up and down and left and right. So guys, that's pretty much it. Here's your power cable. You know, just got to plug that in. But this is it. Your system's done. So I wish you guys the best. I hope this video was helpful, even in the beginning when I showed you what not to do with the base station. And then again, remember, if you're having problems with the Z mode, they've got these brackets in here that hold it from moving, and you just need to make sure you remove those brackets, and then you're done. That's it. Plug the power cable in, cut the power on, connect it to your Wi-Fi, and that's it. So I hope this video was a little informational for anybody, and at the minimum, you figure out that these brackets are what's going to prevent it from going up and down, which I kind of miss because most of the videos don't show that. And again, remember the closest ones, 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. And if you decide to put this on the other side, then you just switch it. Then the close ones would be 3 and 4, and the far ones would be 1 and 2. However, I still believe the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 is going to be the same. So you'd still want to get your 1 and 2 there and your 3 and 4 there. Outside of that, I think that's all you need. This is all you got that comes with it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more.